Yeah, hi, good evening. So we are discussing about MVVM. Like last time we created a project on MVVM. So just we created and we designed the login page, right? Login page in XML. So from there we will continue. So to get an MVVM architecture, now some dependencies has required. So first we'll copy those dependencies from here, then we will continue the next step because like retrofit also required some dependencies. Like similar way here, this MVVM also required some dependencies. So those dependencies I'm copying from my website. So then next steps we will continue. So this is the login URL like last time we did, right? So similar login page we use. So these all are the 6 dependencies we required here. So those all are the like life cycle methods of this. So first one are the retrofit. These all are the MVVM lifecycle methods. So those methods we have to import within this. So for this now I'll open the Gradle. So within this Gradle here now we will add those dependencies. So total I added has here 6 dependencies. Now I'm pushing this. So these are the lifecycle methods, view model, live data, and common. So this one by one, once we see here why it is using, we'll understand easily. Right. So last time what we did here now, just we created a username, password, and submit button. We created a user interface. So in main activity, we not did anything. So in this, even data binding also not added. So we'll add same time data binding as well. So I'm adding the data binding here. So data binding added. Same time here also we'll add the data binding. So that is data binding enable equal to true. So that also added here. Let us sync this. Done. So in main activity, what is the code we will write? We will do that later, but just we will add only this binding related. So that is var binding, right? Var binding colon. So activity main binding, right? Activity main binding, nullify condition, right? That here now. So that is binding equal to data binding. So data binding util dot set content view. So this we will import. So then here we will add the this. Done. So this is what like in this there are a lot of things we need to add within this main activity. But first we have to complete other classes. Then we'll come back and we'll do here now. See here. As of now, whatever we worked, so that we completely worked on in a single package. So that single package is nothing but that is a whatever the default package it is created. So that package we created this. So, but now for this, we will create one extra new package called helper here. Now, I want to create one new package. So here now just click on the package. So here the package. So helper. So I'm creating one package called helper. See the package created here like this. Now within this package, now we have to create. So here now, first I'm creating one class within this. So I'm creating one Kotlin class. So the class name I'm giving as app constraints. So what are the constant values we are using in entire project? So those all we call from here. So for that here now I'll create one companion object. So within this companion object, I'll use those like here now I'll create constant val. So constant val success. So let us say where I'm calling the success in an entire application level. So that success I can access from here like this. So success value I can access from here. Like this, I'll create some of the things. Maybe like if needed feature, we can add later. So success, token expiry. In case if token expiry, so that token expiry, I'll call this. So token expiry. So this is like not found. So not found. Not found. So unauthorized. Unauthorized. Like this, whatever we create this bad request. Some examples I'm creating like this, we can create as per the requirement. So that is bad request. Let us, okay, I'll remove this. Now, like this, I'm creating. So this class we will use globally. So that is the first thing here. This. Next here, in this one more class we'll create within a same here. So that we will create another class called network state. So network related status we will access from here. So network state. So I'm creating the class called network state. So within this network state, we have to call this. So for this now here, I'm calling the values like val. So that is the status. So colon. So status comma val. So next message. So what is the message I want to display? So that is also like that is I'm displaying in a string. So status and the string means that maybe change that value, maybe change here this. Right. Next here, I'm creating one enum class called.
Can we create a field class instead of normal class?
Sorry, can we create?
Yeah.
Your voice is breaking.
Field class instead of normal class.
Yeah, you can create. You can
Field
create.
class.
Yeah, you can create.
So when we create that field class and when we create this one normal.
See, those are like, see, this is the like this class I'm creating globally. So it will work for the entire application level, right? So that's the reason when I'm creating the global class, I'll create like this. When you create individual class, you can create that format. When it is global, it should be, if we create like this, it will be better.
Normal.
Okay. So now here, like network, we have multiple statuses. So like one is like here, I'm saying this like network. So normally when any request will come, so that is first it will be in a running. So means it is request is in progress. So that I'll treat it as a running. Success, once the request has got success, I treated that as a success. Then failed. In case of failed, I'll treat that as a failed. So these three kind of statuses we will get from the network side. So for this now, what I'll do here now for this to get the statuses, I'll create one companion object. So within a companion object, I'll get this data. So that is where first one, like it is the loaded. So if it is loaded, data is loading. So loaded, right? So that is the like based on the network state. So loaded. So that is a network state. So equal to not equal to null. So that depends on the network state. Loaded. So next loading. Next failed. So here this is the loading. It is the loading. Here it is the failed. So failed. So three kind of statuses, whatever we seen about that. So then for this, again here I'll create init method to map these values. So first one, let us say loaded equal to, so network state of status. So status dot, this is loaded. Loaded means it is success. So then here, now I can call this from the app constraint. So the app constraint dot success like this. So that value I'm utilizing here this. Again here now we need two types of statuses, right? So this one I'm writing as a loading. Just a minute, system got stuck here. Oh, what? Okay, so loading. Loading. So here it is the loading means we can say status dot running. So that running status here we are capturing. Running. Means here we have to add one more. So that is here in progress. We'll add that in progress and failure. Both we can add here. So that both we can use there. Copy. So in progress. In progress. That will add as in a progress. Next to this one, I'll add as a failed. So maybe failed bad request, it's fine. Or you can use the failed. So this one I added here. Now these two, I'll call here this two. So here this is a in progress. In progress. Then so this one will use as a failed. So here it is failed. So here also it is failed. Right, these kind of network statuses we will use in an entire application level where it's required. So that place we will use this. Right. So like last time, after this, like last time we used shared preferences data, right? So where the shared preferences data is required, like to save the data, so that we used in authentication, so that authorization, right? So that we will use here. Now for that, again, I'm creating that one more class called shared helper. So the class name called shared helper I have created here this. So now this is the like this you have to create as an object class. So because this will be like a data saving and it can be help an entire application level. So that's the reason just I'm creating like this is an object model. So for this now, first I can define here public final. So like I'm defining the shared preferences. So that is the where. So shared preferences. So column shared preferences. So just I'm declaring the shared preferences equal to none. Right. So within this we are creating, right? So that's the reason. So the also I'm defining the editor as well because we use editor also. So shared preferences editor. So that also I'm defining here. Then now I will create one function. So that is with init. So function init here. This is the context base, means it should work in an entire application level. So I'm defining the general context. So first shade preferences equal to, so with reference of this context dot get shade preferences. So I'm getting this. So now just this reference name I'm preparing as a cache data something. So we are saving some data, right? So that's why I'm defining cache data. So then with reference of the context, so context dot mode private. So I created this mode as a private, like we will open that later. So mode as a private I created in this. Now this is done, just declaration of this is done. Now from here, like we have to add the data, update the data. So those are the things we will see here now. So first I'm creating one function, put key. So key, I want to add the key. So that is how we will add with reference of the context, comma. So that is with reference of the key, right? So key, so that in the form of string, we will add the key in the form of string, right? Comma. So for the key, we need value also. So that value I'm adding, that is also in the form of string. So both I'm adding in the form of the strings, key comma value, like context, key comma value. I'm adding here this. So already we defined that one. So directly I'm adding the editor here, editor equal to, so shade preferences, so editor equal to shade preferences dot edit. So now here we are editing this data. So what editor we are doing it, editor dot put string. So whatever we define the above key comma values means those will be like, we are not defining exactly there, we added one key, but here it should be dynamic, just we are creating here master. So that's why just I'm adding apply like this, done. So here now, so this is like edit is required like this, put key. So this is the one method. Same way I want to write, so write the data. So instead of put key here, I'll write string value. I want to write a one string value, write one string value. Normal, that is key means any format. Here I'm defining the any key. So like write key, I want to write the key. So if you want to write means you have to get. So for that now context is not required. So directly we can write. So we can write what we have to write. So simply key comma value. So that we have to write here. So for that also share message dot editor. So key comma value, it will be done here. Like similar, same method, just we are without context here we are defining this. Then similar way, I want to write Boolean value. So even like this is the normal, like if you want to write the Boolean, it will be little bit different. So that's the reason that that method also I'm showing here this. So context here value, this could be, this will change here. So that is the Boolean value. It will change as a Boolean. So this is fine here. So this is the, instead of put string, it is a put Boolean. So here it will change as a Boolean. So here now, this is the Boolean here like this. So done. Next here, get. So whatever we created these methods, right? We have to get the data here. So to get the data also almost similar here. Now, first we added the key, right? So get key, put key, get key. So for this, now we are to get the key. So for this context, so key. So for this, no need of this value here. So that output we will get in the form of string. So that string here we have to define outside string format. We will getting the data here. This. So for this, editor is not required, right? Editor is not required. Just here we have to return the value. So the return shade preferences dot get string. So get string, that's it. So get string within this key comma value here like this. So here we are getting the data from the shade preferences. So that is by using the get key. Similar here now we have to get the next method. So that is a string, right? Get string, get key first one. So this is the next one, get string. So for that string, get string. So put string, write string, get string, right? So for this also, String it is common, right? So for this, context is not required because we not added here context, right? Only the string. So shared is not get. Here you can write null. So null value you can get this default. Then boolean. So get boolean. So here if you want to get a boolean, here it will change a little bit. So that is a boolean. Here it is the boolean. So here we have to get the boolean. Then here default it will get as a false. So this is also get boolean. Get boolean false. So false. False. Right. So this is done. Like adding means adding and getting the data both has completed. Now I want to clear the data. So for that you have to clear. So it means say delete the data. So clear shared preferences. So clear shared preferences. So that is context. So here I added the context here like this. Right. So shared preferences dot edit. So dot clear dot up dot apply. Apply done. So this is the way we have to clear the data here. This. So this is like means this is a common, right? Then after, so one more class we have to create, like whatever the URLs in entire application level, whatever the URLs we are handling, so that is also handling within this class itself. So now here I'm adding that as the URL helper. The class name as its name is that URL helper. So within this now we have to add all the URL. So companion object, right? Within a companion object. Now val base URL. So for every project we'll get some base URL. So that base URL will define here. So after that we are what we are using here var login URL. So both. So for that now what we will use base plus. So this place plus here whatever the URL we are getting here, right? Now that URL will copy from here. So this is the entire URL, right? So I'll copy this URL. So till test it is the base. So this is the next URL, right? Like this. So suppose now I have here registration. So origin. Here this will change. This URL maybe if it is let us say like this register order page, something like this. All the URLs from the entire application level, we will define all this. So these four classes is mandatory for the base. For the base, you have to create this. So this now with this, the helper package part has completed. Right now, we have to create one more package called model. So we have to create one more package called the model. So now I'm creating the package called model. So package name always you can create in the small letters. So in this now you have to define login response model. So that is the here now I'm defining class. So that is login response model. So login response model. So here now what we are getting here login response model. So this is the data class. So like here you have to create the data class. So data class for the data class you have to define only this. What we are getting the login response model, like here what we are getting data here key comma.
Email and password.
So sorry.
The
So
username and password we are giving.
yeah. So username and password we are getting. After that what output we are getting. So that is here we are considering here. So for that now val key, right? What we are getting here key. So that is a key. So key we are getting in the form of string. So key we are getting in the form of string, comma. Also like one more value we are getting that is the status. So the status also we are getting in the form of string. Like this means there we created a pojo, right? This is the equivalent to the pojo class. So whatever the response here we are getting, for the all here we have to define like which type of data type it is coming. Either it should be string, integer, like that. You have to define all object here one by one. You have to define here like this. So this is the first like in this. The next here. So within a so you have to define view model like here means for this we are adding only one API, right? So in this only one class will as of now. In case next like next class like registration will come, so the registration response model will create here. So then we have to create a next package. So one more package. So that will create as a network. So that will create as a network. So within this now we have to create one class. So class called API client. So API client. So I'm creating class called API client. Sorry, this is not a class, this is interface. So last time where we created interface, right? Similar to this is an interface. So that interface here we have to create. So here we are adding the similar, like where we added safe headers and all, right? So headers. So that is content type. So content type colon. So that is the application slash JSON. So this is the request, whatever the request we are using. So that is post. There we used extra URL, but here we don't no need to use here. So we have to create one function. So that is a get login response. So I want to get the login response. The login response. So URL. So URL. Right, we are getting that is in a URL, right? URL. URL. So that URL we are getting in the form of string. So that is a string. But here normally like there we are sending the data in the form of string. But here we are sending the data in the form of query map, that is a hash map. Because that is only difference here. We are sending hash map format. So here there are major lot of advantages. If you send this format, we can handle the multiple data sources like one data or multiple data also easily we can handle. So that's the reason here we use preferable is that hash map. So here in the hash map we will use the string. Means even though arrays data also we can handle here one single data, or in case if it is array data, so that we can handle easily. So that's the reason it's a preferable. So then here from the retrofit call, so that is retrofit call. So within this now data will be in the form of JSON object. Right, so that is an JSON object done. So this we have to add within this class. Then within a same this, so now we have to add one more class, that is a retrofit client. So that retrofit client data we have to handle. So that is retrofit client. So we are adding that retrofit client. So within this retrofit client here now, here I have to use base URL and other things. So for that, I'll create one private val client colon. So that is I'm creating here OK HTTP client equal to. So one thing that is unsafe, even like any format of HTTP request is that we have to handle here that. So that's the reason unsafe HTTP client, even though if it is for this, we will write in a next level code. So how we will write that? So that we will write. So just I'm defining here unsafe OK HTTP client. So this we have to define in the next level, next class. So unsafe HTTP client, so that we are defining here this. Then Now here we have to define the builder. So that var builder. So where we are building, so that we have to add here. So var builder 2, something I'll declaring here, builder 2. So that is equal to JSON builder dot exclude. So there we cannot exclude anything, but here we can exclude with modifier method. We will use extra with modifier method. So what is advantage of this means this will be like any kind of data. So it can handle like either it is the final or it is the static or it is the transit, any kind of data it can handle the data format here. That but normal way where we write a previous one that cannot handle this kind of requirement. So this can handle any kind of this thing. Then var I'm declaring the JSON, so that is builder 2 dot create. Now just we created a JSON request from here. This then now one more like private builder I'm creating here, one builder. So private val builder. So val builder equal to, oh, sorry, not equal to, colon. So that is a retrofit builder. So retrofit dot builder equal to retrofit dot builder. So now within this we have to write many things in this dot client. So here it will be handling this okay HTTP client, whatever I am defining here. So that client will handle here. Next base URL. So base URL, where we can get the base URL. So from the URL helper dot, right? So URL helper dot base. So that base URL here we are defining. So then add converter factory. So this is the one we add converter factory. Within this now JSON converter factory. So JSON converter factory dot create. So within this create, so I'm using one extra thing. So that is a JSON builder means directly we can use builder 2 in this. Okay, JSON builder it is builder 2, right? JSON builder. Then dot exclude. Okay, it is not taking directly here. We'll take here. Now it came see. Then no use of this. This we can remove. This also we can remove. So okay. So exclude modifier, not modifiers here. Exclude with annotation. So if any other things will come, any like data things it can be handled. Then serialize nulls in case nulls also it can handle. Then finally it create. So this will be created here like this. Right. So this next code once we'll write the next one here, it clear. Yeah, now it will be clear. So then from here, now it's time done. We will create this. Okay, one line of code, 2 lines of code here. We will write that. Then we'll see. So here now public val retrofit equal to builder dot build. So this is done here. So for this now we have to create one service. So that is a fun. So service, that is a create service. So this while creating now, clear explanation I'll do in next class. So that is a service class. So service class. So within this we have to pass that as right. So service class has created. So this is the return retrofit. So this return to retrofit. Retrofit.create. So that is a service class. Done. So this will be written here now.
Sir, can you repeat?
Yeah. I'll explain this in detail in next class. Like now time up. I'll explain this in detail. So why I've